It should go without saying that you're going to be doing a lot of room clearing and door kickers too. In this short guide, we'll be breaking it down Barney style. As we cover the tactics and maneuvers you'll need to know to keep your team alive, not only in Door Kickers 2, but any other team-based FPS game. The three principles of CQB are speed, surprise, and violence of action. Surprise will depend upon your preparation prior to committing to an engagement. Rifles, even when suppressed, tend to be quite loud. However, diversions are also a valid tactic to drag attention away from a breach or to even pull defenders out of a position as they try to reinforce elsewhere. Speed and timing are always paramount, whether you are going dynamic with guns blazing, or going for a more stealthy, methodical approach. Be cautious. Haste makes waste. Running into a room blind, hoping for the best, is a good way to be met with the concentrated hate and anger of all the defenders inside. Pushing a room too quickly could also have your own troopers caught in the AoE of their own grenades, or the dreaded situation when a grenade clips onto a door frame, or an enemy too close to the door.
Drop your weapons! Drop your weapons!
Hands up now! Drop your knees! Moving and clear.
Hello there.
Nani?
Be sure to check the stack order and synchronize commands with go codes, or you might be faced with a situation where a well-laid plan is ruined by a sloppy entry. On the other hand, if you're too slow, then enemies will likely have recovered from your initial display of violence, and you simply will have wasted some of your utility and surprise. Violence of action should require the least explanation. Every engagement should be decisive. Your opponent often has superior numbers and positioning. Therefore, you should use your utility to your advantage. When you have crossed the threshold, you must commit to the push. Never hold in a breach unless you are specifically slicing the pie or you are holding the long angle. As we talked about in the previous video, the point man should be covering the breacher while they open the door so they can immediately react to contacts on the other side. In situations when the breacher is using a shotgun or ram to open the door, it might also be a good idea for another trooper to simultaneously throw a grenade to take advantage of the speed and surprise. To take full advantage of your utility, you should push as soon as your grenade detonates. When your pointman enters the room, they should move in a way that draws attention away from the breach in order to protect troopers behind them in the stack as they enter the room, as the natural instinct is to track the first target as it appears. Movements inside the room should be done in an L shape, with troopers alternating directions as they enter. This maximizes their firepower by creating overlapping fields of fire while limiting the sector that each individual trooper has to cover, and also reduces the risk of friendly fire. Remember, friends don't flag friends. Friendly fire is extremely rare, as troopers will generally try to hold fire if they risk hitting a friendly, but most of the time they will be able to engage the enemy without any trouble. When entering a room, be aware of other breaches that the enemy could use to reinforce or fire from. There is little sense pushing through one fatal funnel just to jump into another. Be sure to leave a trooper to cover these areas while the rest of the team clears their immediate contact. The exact movements and directions will depend upon the shape of the room and the potential openings into that room, but that will be the topic of the next guide in this series.